I first remember the noise, the constant, low sound of machines, and the beat of my heart showing up on the monitor. The hospital room smelled like cleaning spray and metal. My cell phone was on the tray nearby, the screen dim, but it showed the calls I had tried to make. 6 missed calls to Mom, 4 to Dad. They never picked up. I first thought they were sleeping, but then I saw the time. It was afternoon. I called them again, and the call went straight to voicemail. I remember quietly asking the nurse if she would try calling them for me. She did, still nothing. Hours later, my mother finally sent a text. "We're busy with your sister. She's having a fit about the new paint colors. Can this wait?" I read that message 3 times and then I laughed. Right after, I coughed up blood onto the white sheets. 2 days before, I had been driving home from work when a truck suddenly hit me. The crash crushed the metal, glass flew everywhere, and everything went dark. They told me later that my body was pulled from the wreck like a doll with cut strings. I had internal bleeding and a collapsed lung. The doctor said I was lucky. I didn't feel lucky. I spent those 2 days in the ICU all by myself. No family, no calls, no flowers. Just the steady blinking of the machines and the nurse who asked, "Your parents haven't visited yet?" No, they hadn't. But my lawyer had. Her name is Clara. She has sharp eyes and is a direct speaker. I called her in between my morphine doses, my voice rough and my throat dry. I told her I needed to make changes to my last wishes and my business. She arrived within the hour. She was professional and quick without any wasted talk. I signed the papers with a shaky hand, watched her put them in her briefcase. And she asked, "Are you positive about this?" I nodded, completely sure. You see, my sister Olivia was always the sensitive one, the focus of the family's feelings. If she cried, everything stopped. If she wanted something, we all quickly changed our plans to make it happen. I, the quiet and reliable one, was just in the background. I bought my parents their house, paid for Olivia's education, and built the company that used our family name. But love and attention were only given to the one who seemed to need it most. It was clear that her emotional breakdown over paint colors was more important than my almost dying. When they finally decided to visit, it was on day 5. I had been moved out of the ICU, still weak and still bruised. I heard my mother's voice before I saw her. It was too loud for the quiet hospital hallway. "Oh, honey, we came as soon as we could." I looked up from the bed, gave a small smile, and asked, "Did you get the colors sorted out?" She looked confused. "What?" "The paint colors?" I said, looking right into her eyes. "That's what kept you busy, right?" My father cleared his throat. "Now isn't the right time for that, son." I just agreed. "You're right. It's not." That evening, when they went to talk to the doctor, I had the nurse push my wheelchair to the hospital garden. The air smelled of rain and cleaning fluid. Clara was waiting by the fountain with a file. She gave a professional smile. "Everything started." "Good," I replied. "Do you want to tell them now?" I shook my head. "Not yet. They'll find out soon enough. The thing about getting back at someone is that it doesn't need to be loud. Sometimes being silent is more powerful, especially when it's written down in a legal document." Over the next few weeks, as I got better, I didn't call them or text them often. When they tried, my replies were short, polite, and distant. I let them believe everything was normal, that I was healing, and that we'd just forget the whole thing. They never guessed what was happening. 2 months later, when I walked into my office for the first time since the crash, everyone stood up and clapped. The lost son had returned. Except this time, I wasn't just the CEO. I was the only one with full control. Because during those quiet days in the ICU, I had completely changed everything. The company, which was once shared equally by my parents, Olivia and me, was now all mine. Their shares, which they had moved for tax reasons, were transferred into a legal fund Clara helped me create. It was completely legal and felt right to me. I even transferred the ownership papers for the family home. It was now in my name. The showdown happened easily. It was a Sunday dinner at their house. I brought wine. They brought their guilt. My mother served roast lamb, smiling too brightly. "We've missed you, honey. It's been so busy lately with..." I held up a hand. "Let's just get to the part where you ask why the company bank accounts are empty." Her fork stopped in the air. My father put down his glass. I sat back, calm. "You were supposed to get your profit payment last week, but you didn't, right?" My father frowned. "What are you talking about?" "I'm talking about who owns the company," I said softly. "I'm talking about how 3 months ago you signed away everything." "You didn't read the documents?" I asked you to get signed by a public official. For me while I was in the hospital. You just signed. Like you always do when I ask nicely. I watched as they finally understood.